What am I supposed to talk about? If you don't want me, what am I supposed to talk about?
Aston Villa 0, Sheffield United 0. Welcome to the first edition of On The Line post-match reaction. Today, I'm joined by Luke Robinson of the Up The Villa podcast and Shaun Jones of 1 to 11 Kits. Now, guys, let's begin dissecting the game. Luke, what are your predominant emotions following today's game? How are you instinctively feeling following the match?
I'd probably say a little bit flat, to be honest. I think we all had that sense of excitement, anticipation. We knew the job that we had to do, and we've sort of come away and just came away from that game just feeling really flat. And you know, we've still got a massive job on our hands if we're going to stay in this league.
Because I was talking to you earlier, wasn't I? And it sort of resembled a pre-season game, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, I just wanted to see like intensity from the start, desire, hunger, obviously like passion, but without the fans. But I thought for the first 20 minutes, I thought we actually looked quite good. You know, we was knocking it about really well, and you know we were playing with a little bit of drive. You know, El Ghazi was running with the ball, trying to beat his man, and then just the more Sheffield United sort of got that little bit of a foothold in the game, it sort of just had stalemate written all over it, to be honest.
Shaun, of course, we had a long break due to COVID-19. What were your predictions for Aston Villa for today's game?
Before today's game, I thought it was going to be really tough. You know, I thought we'd struggle to score, which is exactly what happened. You know, Sheffield United's defence is notoriously strong this season. I thought it was interesting the lineup that was chosen, and I would have thought that we would have drawn it. Yeah.
From today's performance alone, do you believe that we have the skill set and players to potentially survive this league?
I think we've improved since before the break from what I've seen today, especially defensively. The tactics seem different. We seem more direct and obviously more defensively mindset. So I think if we played like that throughout the whole season, we'd be in a stronger position than we are now. But I think it's probably a little bit too late. Unfortunately, that's what my realistic head says. Unfortunately, I don't want that to be the case, but I think that's probably most likely.
Luke, team news was announced an hour before as normal, and there were few changes which were expected due to the long break. Were you surprised by any of them?
I mean, I did put on Twitter a couple of days ago that I thought he was going to start Jota, just because I thought he's going to do something that's totally out of the blue, and I think he did that, but he did it with like Davis. You know, we was all thinking Samatta was going to start. I didn't really think Hourihane would start. Courtney Horse didn't think he'd start either. So to be fair, there was 3 changes that he made that, I mean, I didn't expect. But I mean, like Shaun said, we were a lot better defensively. That you could see that the shape was better. But like he's just said as well, we've got 9 games to go, and that type of tactics, and that's not going to keep you in this league, I don't think. I think we need to be a lot more free-flowing and trying to score our way out of the league, to be fair.
Shaun, let's talk about tactics. And of course, when Davis was on the pitch, he was on the pitch for the majority of the game. And it felt as if Villa had changed their style of play in the fact that Davis was that hold-up player. Did you enjoy that at all? Because it may not have been the most exciting style of play, but it was effective at times throughout the match.
I think it's always going to be difficult when you play against 3 centre-backs to be a lone striker, first and foremost. And I think Keenan Davis, his first Premier League start, you know, from the beginning of a match, did really, really well. You could see his desire and determination and hunger, which is can sometimes outweigh a lack of confidence and stuff like that. So I think he did well. And I think tactically, he was more assured. And I think that way of playing in the Premier League will churn out better results over the length of the season. I like the fact that Conte was at right back, because we've been so poor at set pieces, and they've got 3 centre backs that can come and attack our set pieces. I think it was quite shrewd that we had another man in the set piece situations, either in attack or in defence, that had some height. So I didn't think that was a bad thing. What was the original question?
So I'm actually going to extend the question in the fact that Davis was, as as I said, was effective at times. But do you believe that in the future, potentially, that we could see Samatta up front with him, as in he would be the hold-up man, and we could see a player such as Samatta run off Davis's balls?
I think that would mean probably losing the wingers, and I think our wingers aren't the strongest parts of our current team, of our current group of players that we've got. So I believe that would be a better way of playing with the current players that we've got. Maybe in the, depending at the end of the season what happens, it might be different. But with the current players that we've got and the 9 games to go, if everyone's fit, then ideally we'd have 2 strikers, 3 at the back, 2 wing backs, and 3 in the middle.
Now, Luke, due to the fact that, as I said, there was a large break, as I said, it was a pre-season game sort of vibe as well. It's going to take time in order for Villa to return back to their best, essentially.
Yeah, it is, but that's what we don't have. In a sense of the games, we need to win every game that we play, to be honest, to stand a chance of trying to stay in this league. If we're going to, ease our way in and draw today, lose against Chelsea, Newcastle, draw away. Do you see what I mean? We've got 2 points out of 3 games. That leaves 6 games left. So for me, we just need to be direct, bang at it every game now, and just go for it. I think, this how we played today. Like Shaun was saying, if we'd have started that on game week 1, then we'd be in a great position at the minute. But at the minute, it's not in our hands whether we stay up or not. We've got to earn the right now to stay up because we are chasing points. So for us, it's all to do still.
Let's talk about probably the biggest talking point of the game, which was Sheffield United's what should have been their goal of the game.
Yeah.
Shaun, for the Premier League being such a big organisation, to have an error of this magnitude, such as Hawkeye not working properly, is seriously embarrassing, isn't it?
I think for the Premier League, it's really embarrassing. But the referee, feels like me when I'm trying to get a text when I'm at Villa Park. So it wasn't surprising that he didn't get any signal, because I never get any signal. But yeah, it was really embarrassing. But just maybe the look that we needed. The last thing we wanted to do was lose that match. And maybe all of our prayers might just have been answered. It could have.
Yeah.
First match back, when you lose that first goal, it could have gone so much worse. It wasn't the worst performance ever. It was better than what we've seen before, maybe just a little bit too long.
So half-time came, and we came back out in the second half and still dominated proceedings, but we struggled to create any more chances. And in particular, Luke, you were talking about the wingers being not very effective. Do you believe that during times like these, we were desperate to have a player of Ben Rama's ability and the fact that he can skill back players and be intricate with his balls?
Yeah, I think, to be fair, the wingers are actually not that bad today, I thought. I think El Ghazi put a cross through in the first half, and then Trezeguet put that one through to Davis in the second half. I mean, that was fine margins. Davis could have snuck that one away. So like you said, I feel like where we're saying we would need a Ben Rama, I feel we need Jack in those areas a lot more. I thought today he was still a little bit quiet. He was dropping quite deep at times again, picking up the ball. We need him pushing on a little bit further, I think. It goes back to like the Leicester game where I think he had the fewest amount of touches he's had in a Premier League game. And to be fair, today I feel like he was still quite quiet. And I think if he's our game changer, if he's our match winner and the focal point to our team, we can't have him being quiet. What do you think, Shaun?
I think it's difficult when the majority of his touches are down with Taggart at left back situations.
Yeah.
He played a couple of good balls through when he got a chance on the break. But that's what you want to see him do. You want to see him on the break, running at people, or shots from just outside the box. Sometimes just a bit too many touches, but I think it's kind of expected. He didn't have his best game.
To be fair, because with the introduction of McGinn as well, he wasn't at his best, but he would normally do the defensive work, leaving Grealish to attack. But as I previously stated again, go on.
Yeah, it felt a bit opposite. It felt a bit opposite today.
Yeah,
it felt like McGinn was further upfield.
And I think it will take time again, just like the squad's gelling, for everyone to return to being their sharp best.
Yeah.
So going forward, we've got Chelsea on Sunday. Luke, how do you see that going?
Um,
And it's hard to say because, of course, Chelsea.
difficult one. I think, to be fair, I mean, you saw in the match, Concert had cramp. Some of the Sheffield United players had cramp. So, in theory, we're a game ahead, aren't we? So, our sharpness, McGinn's sharpness, should be there. So, and that match intensity should be there. So, again, we've just got to impose ourselves and let them know that we're there, and it's not going to be an easy game. I don't feel like Chelsea are free flowing as what they were under like Mourinho when he first went there. I think they are definitely beatable, but like we're saying, it's like ifs and we still don't know. Do we? We're still no clearer to knowing what Villa are going to turn up.
Exactly.
I think if they
go on.
Go on. I think if we can play the sort of balls we played today against a Chelsea back four rather than sort of Sheffield United's back three or back five, depending on where the wing backs are, then if Davies can become a little bit more clinical, then there will be chances if we can play the same sort of balls in.
Because there's been a lot of debate on social media today regarding the team lineup and people debating whether Davies or Samatta should start in the midfield and the defence. For the Chelsea's game, there are going to be changes due to the fact that a game's coming thick and fast. But Shaun, for you, what should be the starting 11 against Chelsea on Sunday?
I think it's difficult. We don't know all the situations with every player's physicality. I thought Samatta looked more done in after 20 mints than Davies did after 70. So, bearing that in mind, it might be the same with Davies up front. The midfield, you might see Connor come out and have Nakamba and Louise to be a little bit more defensive. Other than that, I'd probably keep it pretty much the same if the players are fit enough. And if they're not fit enough, then obviously it would just be the like-for-like substitution. You see Elmo come on the right back or whatever. But I did quite like that we had three centre-backs. Concert didn't do badly at right back, and that meant we were a little bit more assured at set. I think set pieces are going to be so important these last games because we don't look like we're going to do anything really from open play. So if we can keep Connor, he's not the greatest, but if we can keep him on set pieces and we've got some tall lads in and around it, then a bit more Sam Allardyce or a bit more that sort of type of football, but cup football, and make the most of these situations to gain some confidence, and then we can be a little bit more free flowing.
Luke, looking at the remaining fixtures past Chelsea, we've got some really tough games ahead. We've got the likes of Man United, Liverpool to play. We need these players to return to their fittest selves in order for us to fight and potentially survive in this league, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. Like we've been saying, the games are going to start ticking away from us. So we don't want to be getting to a point where we are literally chasing the wins. I think at the minute, it was a game in hand today, wasn't it? So we've gained a point, which is a good thing. So, I think from tomorrow when everybody starts playing again, that's now where we've got to be keeping an eye on everybody else's results again and matching and bettering everything that they do. Because I said in my podcast a couple of days ago that watching the Bundesliga, the bottom teams, their form has gone on leaps and bounds. Werner Bremen, they were winning games and they've give themselves a fighting chance. And it was the mid-table teams that sort of their form that sort of dipped off quite a lot. So I don't feel like we can rely on, say, Watford and all these teams to keep losing, because they're probably going to be picking up points. So, we've just got to focus on us and try and get these points whatever way we can. But we have got games that we can win. We've got Newcastle coming up, and
Crystal
to be fair,
Palace.
I did think we were going to beat Man United at home this season, so I may as well still stick to that one. So there's 3 wins we've got. So just need a few
that West
more.
Ham game at the West Ham game at the end of the season.
Yeah, I can't go into that needing anything though. It needs to be done by then.
Let's finally just talk about the environment. Of course, many Villa fans are watching from home today, how weird was it for you specifically, Shaun, watching Villa from home, not seeing any home support at Villa Park?
Yeah, it was sad to not see any home support. Big shout out to the players right at the start of the game for all doing the knee.
Yeah.
That was incredible, and it was really nice to see the silence, and also see the manager's dad's coat in the stand.
Yeah.
I think it was what did everyone watch? Did you watch it with the fake crowd noise, or did you
I
watch
did.
it with
Did you?
I
watched it silent?
Yeah, I did
Really?
both. I did both, to be fair.
Because at
I
one
tried
point,
it a little bit.
yeah, at one point they were singing "You're Not Singing Anymore." That's quite funny.
It's
I'm
quite
hoping that
strange.
I'm hoping at the Liverpool game they're going to do "You'll Never Walk Alone." Just at
But
the
do you know
start
what?
of the
They
game.
actually had like the Villa fans chanting in it. It wasn't just like
Yeah.
some random noise. So, you know,
I mean,
I just
it
kept
wasn't
hearing Davis. Well, like the guy, they were just really cheering on Keenan like throughout the whole game. They were just kept joining him up. But yeah, that was interesting.
it definitely needs improvement as well, because I remember at the start of the game there was, I believe it was Horahan or one of the players who took a shot on goal, hit the side netting, and they accidentally played the
I saw
goal.
that.
Yeah, it's
I
slightly
was like,
strange.
what's
Just
going on? I think
yeah. Go
every
on,
time it crosses that line, I think it just puts a loud cheer out just in case.
Slightly strange. Slightly strange.
Yeah.
But what are your predictions for Chelsea's game, and how did you get on supporting the Villa boys at home? I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. These are our thoughts from the Sheffield United game, and I'm thankful for Luke and Shaun for coming on today's video. And hopefully we'll be back for another post-match reaction very, very soon. Up the Villa.
What am I supposed to talk about?